Hello everyone. In this video, MongoDB CRUD Operations using Node.js and Mongoose. We'll build a complete REST API from scratch and test it using Postman.
Okay, so we today learn the monstick CRUD operation with MongoDB, where we do the data persistence using MongoDB collections with Mongo Atlas, which I have been created in earlier video, how to create the Mongo Atlas instance here. And here I made up of the free instance, that is cluster 0, where 512 MB size is total that given. And how we find that connection string, I start from that first step. So first I prepare how we can do this CRUD operations with the Munstick, and that is Mongo, Express, React and Node. But here I just want to make the backend, so I just supposed to create the Node.js backend project. So first I use the npm init-y, where I create the fresh project. First, my project is created. I supposed to set the type, that is module itself, because I'm using the import as a keyword, not a require to import the modules. So I just create that project, and now I use supposed to such libraries npm I, that is Express. For MongoDB operations, I am using Mongoose. Mongoose will help us to do the all MongoDB operations with that specific methods. So Mongoose is library. Another one I am using NodeMon to make my project running. So these three library minimum I required. Once it is installed, I prepare the main file where I can create the whole project in a single file first. Later on, I give the another video where I part this all different files in different separate modules, or we can say different folder wise. So how we import that libraries? So first I create one file where I'm using Express, and then I prepare that 4 routes first. So I prepare index.js, where I import the Express.js. Before that, I prepare the start command. So I add that start command npm start colon nodemon index.js, which will help us to create that created that project start with this nodemon index.js using npm start. So my project will start with that command. How we import the statement? So I use import express from my package, that is Express. So that is first I need to create. Second, I want to use that Mongoose library. So I create the instance of Mongoose as well. Later on, if I want to that MongoDB URL, or we can say MongoDB connection string from env file, so we use env, otherwise we directly use over here. In next video I will show you how you can use the environment file. So how I can create the Express object? So first I do that Express the basic CRUD, then I implement that MongoDB. So I create that const.app with Express and use that middleware, that application level middleware express.json, where I can send the data in JSON mode. Now I just do the things, that is basic CRUD operation. How we can do this with this Mongo, with this node, then we introduce the Mongo. So first I give the my port number. So I supposed to use 3000. After giving this port number, I want to make that listen with this port. So I run this server. So listen with this port number, and I make it that live. And here is my port number. Before that, I'll use HTTP localhost / port number. So my server is running. Now I put the routes. So initially I put the routes app.get, which retrieve all the records. So I prepare for CRUD operation, that is products. So I supposed to use products. Here I am getting all the data from the database earlier, but right now I supposed to use that routes early initially, then I introduce the MongoDB. So how can I make this function? In this way, I prepare the function. I give response.json. In JSON, I get the message, that is get all products. So simply I give the message here, I will list all the products. So that is my simple first route. Another route for that, create the instance or create the products. So I just use post. Here the get is products and post is products. So when I call from the postman as a post method, so that will be replace that method. So get will call within the get method of URL, post will call from the post of URL. Then I send that data and I receive that data in a way that, for example, created products and where I show the data request body. So whatever data I will send, it will receive itself. So that is my another route. Suppose I add another two routes, that is put for that update. So when I update the record, so I need to pass that unique ID, which record I really wants to update. And in update, I supposed to pass the ID as well as I suppose that data as well as ID. So I just put that ID colon request.params.id in this way. Now I want to delete that. So I use app.delete where the product slash ID. Very similarly, I show that ID. So first, this is without database. I prepare the whole project in a way that where four endpoints with that products as a get method, products as a post method, products with ID as a put method, where I can update the record, and where delete as a delete that product. So I just take this route, then I move ahead. So I just run that project npm start. So my API is ready. My API is ready, and I just run this project with this 3000 port and I show you. So first I call that list of products. So this is 3000 get request and I send that request. I get that response which I have written here. Okay, so my list of products will show here. If I want to call that post method, which is post with products, and I send that products data, for example, I want to store, I will define what structure I really want. So for example, that is product name. So product name is iPhone. For example, iPhone 16. What is the price of it? So I said price, it is about 65,000. That is price. And for example, I said brand. Okay, so brand is about Apple. So this is my sample data which I send as a product and it will be stored. So earlier I just give the demo where I pass the data and it will show. So I'm checking that route. So here you can see I can find that data. Now in a update where I pass the data in a body, and along with that here you select the JSON as well as raw data, and I supposed to pass that ID as well. For example, I supposed to enter something as a ID, okay, and send it. So I receive that ID as well as my data which I have written here, where I do the MongoDB where find by ID and update the record. So that will I am doing here. And very similarly in delete, I supposed to use the same URL in a delete and I call that with that delete method. So that delete will call and it is showing product deleted. But right now there is no database. This is the endpoints which I have created for. Now I introduce the Mongoose. Earlier in video, I supposed to show you how you can use the CRUD operation in MySQL. So both the case, this many things are same. But now I use Mongoose. So I supposed to import that Mongoose as a package. So import Mongoose from Mongoose. Now, when you are using Mongoose, so we need a connection string where I need to install or import that connection string to do the connections with that my Node.js to MongoDB. So how we can connect that Mongo? So we have a such instance. How you find that connection string? I show you. So here you do the connect. In a connect you will find one method which is it is in compass or visual code. I suppose to select any one, right? This is also working, and if you go in a compass this is also working. So here I have a connection string. I just make it copy, and that connection string, for example, I am writing as a const Mongo URL, where I pass that URL which I have been copied from that. So now I need to insert my database name, because in a one cluster or in a one project there are number of database are there. So in my cluster, what are the database are available? So what I have created, that will showing. So I just use MCS Z1, but I create another one. For example, I just create another one. So my database name is something like a store, right? It is DMart store. Okay, I prepared the database name is DMart store, and suppose to I give the sample collection name. So DMart store is my database, and inside it products will be a collection. So here I suppose to use DMart. I copy that word, otherwise it may getting mistake. So this is DMart store is my connection string database name. Now I want to add username and password. So I have given in a video how you can find that ID password. So here you go in a database access security. Here you find that user, and in a edit. So in a user you can create your password. So for example, edit password, I create a new password. Here I just copy it and make it save update. So that password I have generated, this is my new password, and what is my user name, that is this one. So my connection string is completely work. One more setting, if you want to access this whole database from everywhere, so that is in IP list, you just pass 0.0.0/0. Otherwise, you may doesn't have access of that database. So that will be accessed from everywhere. Now my connection string is ready. I import the mongoose this. Now one more settings, because of the DNS have made some changes for that connection. So I import DNS. Recently this changes has done from that node colon DNS. So this is somewhat I have prepared DNS. Now I pass that DNS in a range of DNS dot set servers, and my range for that DNS in a array mode, which I pass here. Here first string is 8.8 and second one is 1.1.1.1. So this is my range. So in this way we took that MongoDB with Mongoose in a way that import Mongoose here. So Mongo and DNS is ready. Now connections string also be ready. Now I need to do the connections. So before doing connections, I do one thing. If my connection string is not available, then I set that message there is a MongoDB URI is needed. Now next step is to do the connection. So for example, I use mongoose dot connect, simple method connect, and in a connect I just pass that my Mongo URI. That's it. No need to do anything. That's it. So my Mongo's connection is ready. Mongo URL is ready. If you want to check that connection is connected or not or something, so that will be passed here as a then method. But right now I just want to do the connection. I don't want to check that connection is connected or not. So first I do the connection. Now I do the operation. So I have total 4 data persistence operation. First one is I want to create the record. Then I can retrieve. So how I can create the record? So before doing everything, I need such a model where I can create my products collection. So how can I create that schema as a MongoDB object? So I just supposed to create const, that is my product schema, where I can create a schema. In this I prepare that schema. Here I suppose prepare a schema. It is simple like a JSON where I use that product name, and it types is what? So my product name type is string. It is required true. Another field is what? My another field is price in my collection. So that is number, and it is required true because without price it doesn't complete. And third one is about brand. I think brand we have used. So that is brand, and type is string, and require true. So my schema is ready. My product table schema or collection schema is ready. Now I want to prepare that model. So how you can prepare model for product? So Mongoose is my instance. Dot model is a method where I pass my model name, that is product, and what schema it will be applied, so which I have been created. So my object is ready. Now I want to store that data in this product model using that product model. So I will write in this API use in this function, which API it is, post products. So here I am writing that, for example, I just supposed to use async await async, and here I am writing that const product new product where request.body, and I'm making product.save. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a new object of product where I pass the request.body all the parameter which I'm sending from here as a post. What are the data I'm sending from here? It will comes here as a product and I make it save. This is one method. When it is saved, so it will here it will show that product detail. That is one way. Second way is you supposed to create the instance, for example, in this way. So I just supposed to create the product.create and request body. Both are valid. There is nothing will be changed. So I supposed to use create or save method and I insert that record. Now I'm checking this. So first there is no error. I just want to check. So I just call this function with that API calling. So I just send this data. So my data is saved and I'm receiving that data with ID. So here you can see my product is saved. I supposed to add another, that is Galaxy uh, 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 Galaxy 26 whatever, right? And that is Samsung and price is about 50,000. I just submitted. So I have added two records and it is inserted. If you want to check this, here you can see in a database, right? You can find that database, that is DMart store, and in DMart store we have a products as a table. So I suppose to open this database. Once it is open, I will show you DMart store, and here we have products. Two products we have already saved. Now I want to retrieve that record. So how we can retrieve this two product we have inserted. Now I want to retrieve this. So very simple. Here I am creating record. Now I am fetching that record. So how we find that record? So suppose I use const, that is products, where I find that product.find, and product.find will get the data. So this is the way where I find the data in a mode of I replace this line which is earlier for the purpose of writing in a way that where I can receive the data. So response.json get all the products where data is products. Now how we can make this better? So I can use the status code as well. So here I use try catch, product will be fine. This is the message, all products fine. Before this I can write that JSON, it is 200. Okay, success message. So message will be status code is 200 in a headers, and that message will be all products will be fine and data will comes. Now we check to receive the data. Here you list the data, the products get method, call this. So now you find the products. Here you can see the product. Now I want to change that Galaxy 26 with that another model, right? So I use that ID to update that record. So I will change this Galaxy anything other Galaxy I replace with the Realme or anything, and I do the update. So I needed that ID. So I pass that ID here from that put. So here I am doing the update call now. So I have prepared that retrieval, even create. Now I do the update. So how you can update this? So very similarly in create, here we do the update. So I just use const that is product equals to product find by id and update. So first I pass that id and then I pass request dot body. So this is my line. I am writing product dot find by id and update, and this is the case has done. Now my product data will be modify itself. So I suppose show you how you can do this. Product is model find by id, where you pass that id and request.body, and it is true because I need to forcefully update anything if it is done. So this is my response. I use response status 200 JSON. Product is updated, which product updated, that is id, and what you updated as a data. So my update is also done. Now how we update this? So I copy that id, there is a Galaxy 26 I use for the update. I pass that id, and I supposed to use that Galaxy replace with the iPhone 70 and price is 82. I supposed to submit. So that data will update, and here you can see updated record with this ID, and now you can check here in a list of products where is a Galaxy will replace with the Apple 17. So that update is working, right? And now the last case for the delete, very similar to update. Here we use find by ID and update, where we use the find by ID and delete, right? So I use, for example, await product find by id and delete, where I pass the product id, that's it, and that id will receive and it will be response. So here you can see the status code also I can apply, that is 200, and I said find by id and delete, where I pass the id, response status 200 JSON, product is deleted and which product has deleted, which is id I have given. So this is my delete operation, and I check this iPhone 17 is this id and I want to delete this, so I pass this and check. So that id has deleted. Now you can list, so that data is removed. So how you can make this data persistency with all different 4 endpoints, and you can make this possible with this MongoDB live cloud database, and all 4 operation is very simple as a CRUD. But later on you can make your as per requirement anything you can do in this. Thank you.